Hi guys, so for today's video, we will be working on a use case where we will train our custom fine-tuned LLM model and deploy it on Amazon SageMaker. So for this use case, this is the architecture diagram on which we will be developing our solution. So in order to develop our solution, we need to first train our custom LLM model. And to train our custom LLM model, we will be using a Jupyter Notebook. After our model is trained, we will deploy our trained model on an Amazon SageMaker endpoint. Please note, we will be communicating with our Amazon SageMaker endpoint using our Lambda function. So, whenever an end user logs into a web application will send a request through API gateway, and Amazon API gateway will communicate the request to Lambda, and hence Lambda will send our request to SageMaker endpoint and to LLM model. After LLM model gives a response, that response will be forwarded directly through our web interface. Obviously, our website is being hosted in Amazon CloudFront, and this will be a static website, so we'll be using S3 for that purpose. So now let's go to our Jupyter Lab environment where we'll be training our custom LLM model. So this is the notebook which I will be using for the training purpose. The first thing we'll do is we'll check GPU memory. Using this command, we can check the GPU memory which we have available. This was run previously, so it is showing 0 and B means it is not used. So now let's proceed with importing our libraries. You can see here we are using many types of libraries like NumPy, Pandas, and transformer libraries, torch, training arguments, and transformers. If you want, I can share the notebook link with you guys so you can go through the notebook in detail. It will be very difficult for me to explain each and every line from the notebook, so I will just be going through the main and important points stronger notebook. So we can, so for step 3, we will prepare our training data set. For training data set, for this notebook purpose and demo purpose, we are using another SageMaker FAQs with CSV tunnel. You can find the data, and I think this is the data which we will be using, that is SageMaker FAQs. These are instructions and these are responses on which we want the model to be trained. Like what is Amazon SageMaker? Amazon SageMaker is a fully managed service to prepare data, build, and train and deploy machine learning models for any use case with fully managed infrastructure tools and etc. etc. Yeah. So this is our data set on which we'll be training our model. There is one row of instructions and one row of responses. So here we'll be preparing our data. Here we had your two features, the range person responses, number of those are 154. We are just doing data first row, and then we'll be preparing the prompt. To fine tune the LLM, you must decorate the instruction data set with a prompt nation. Okay. So this is the prompt which we'll be passing at its intro, instruction key, instruction response key, response are in. Now fit. So this is here we'll be adding the text. Then we'll be load a pre-trained LLM model. So for this use case purpose, we will be using our Dolly B2-CD LLM model, which is a pre-trained LLM model. And here we are polygon model. Model equals to auto model for casual LLM for pre-trained. Then we'll be prepare the model for training. This is just checking the tokenizer, length of tokenizer. Mm, Then we define the trainer and fine tune the LLM. If you want me to explain the notebook in detail, please let me know in comment section and I will explain each and every single part of the notebook with a complete detailed video. So in this video, we will be mainly focusing on the use case and the architecture diagram which we want to implement. So there will be defining the trainer and fine tune the LLM. Here will be defining LoRa config and load the LoRa model. Uh, Here we will define the trainer. Then it takes, yes. So then we will say our fine tune model inside a S3 bucket, and then here we have saved our model, pre-trained model, and with all the benefits. Then we deploy our fine tune model. So this is the command which we'll be using to install SageMaker library, that is install SageMaker. And then the version. Now it is getting installed. And here is how we will be deploying our endpoint, deploy the model to endpoint, and create the model artifact, create the inference scripts. This will be this script, and then upload the model artifact to S3. After it is uploaded to S3, you can see this is our model, which is in the form of LoRa underscore model dot tar dot gz file. This is not very huge file. This is only of almost close to 300 MBs of file. Then here we will deploy the model on SageMaker endpoint using this function. So once our model is deployed, we can test the interface using our command. So it has successfully run and it has successfully given the output. So now I will just show you the endpoint which is present here. As you can see, this is still in status. It is still in service. After our model endpoint is successfully created, we have to add the endpoint in our Lambda function. So this is our Lambda function which takes the input from our API gateway. You can see it gains the body and then send whatever request which we have received from API gateway, the SageMaker endpoint. And then it obviously whatever results it receives, it will forward to us through API gateway. So this is our API gateway. This is our URL which we'll be using to remove our API gateway. And this will be our CDN, that is CloudFront. And we can access our URL using this our domain and name, distribution domain name. So this is how it will look. Then we can pass on any prompt which we want it to use, like how do I use SageMaker endpoints, and we'll click on generate. This takes some time for it to generate a response, so we will wait. Yes, so we have received the response. The output which it gives is you can access the endpoint using SDK provided by AWS. Okay, sorry, I have clicked on generate 2 times, so it has given another response. Use SageMaker Endpoint. You need to build your algorithm using SageMaker LLM and store the output in a repository. Then you can browse SageMaker Endpoint, deploy your algorithm, and choose an endpoint to run your algorithm with the AWS manifest is a block host. Okay, so this is the output which we have received. I hope you have understood the workflow which we have implemented in this use case. And if you want, I will surely share the PPT file as well as the notebook for you to refer and for you to build the solutions. Thank you.